The Manali to Leh highway is one of the highest and most remote highways in the world. At 270 miles long, with elevations reaching as high as 17,500 feet, this road is a true test for the long-distance cyclist. My adventure starts in the chaotic and noisy capital city of New Delhi, India, one of the largest and densest cities on Earth. The streets were heaving with people, and the heat midday was oppressive. Navigating the chaos of the city was an interesting adventure, but I made it through. The tangle of narrow alleys and all the fascinating sights made cycling in New Delhi a unique experience. From New Delhi, I cycled through the very populated and very busy northern plains, until I arrived at the small city of Rishikesh, known as the gateway to the mighty Himalayas. This would be my starting point before cycling up into the mountains. Following traffic in and out of narrow and tight streets, I finally made my way to the city center. I spent a few rainy days and nights resting and enjoying the sights of Rishikesh and the surrounding area. This is considered the headwaters of the famous Ganges River, a holy river and pilgrimage site for the Hindus. The powerful Ganges River at the base of the Himalaya was a stunning sight to see. As the cool night crept forward and the monsoon rains came crashing down, I spent the night exploring the foothills of the Himalayas. I was getting used to the chaos and entanglement of the local streets, but I knew the real test would come in the days ahead. I finally made my way up into the mountains. There was a magic in the air, and I was excited to see what lay ahead of me. Constant pouring rains slowed my progress of fighting my way up steep tracks into ever higher elevations, with the goal of reaching Manali and the ultimate goal of reaching the rain shadow of the Himalayas. From the rainy foothills, the next stop was the mountain town of Manali. At almost 7,000 feet, this is the true start of the infamous highway, and a last pit stop to refuel with supplies. The mountains that surrounded Rishikesh were raw, massive in size. This is breakfast tomorrow. Chacos. Some peanuts. And then I got some Nescafe. Here's some of my stuff. Trash bag. That's trash. My bed. The room. Leaving the hill town of Manali, I was truly connected to the famous Manali to Leh highway and was anxious to get started. This would lead me into the great northern state of Ladakh, India. Behind, I pressed ever upward into the clouds. With dramatic views and thigh-burning switchbacks, the sense of adventure was truly setting in. Listening to the beautiful sounds of nature and enjoying the fresh, crisp, clean mountain air. This road is only open in the summer months, and the traffic can be one way at times. It was usually wise for me to pull over and let the truck convoys pass. After a few thousand feet and a few miles, the carnage of the road was apparent. I knew that I was prepared, but this would be a true test of my fitness and endurance. The importance of this highway is one of connection and of sheer engineering. From the plains of India, it continues through the foothills onto many passes over 14,000 feet. There's always something pretty fulfilling about looking back down the road and seeing how far you have come. And in this instance, how many thousands of feet in elevation I was slowly making my way. The plan was to ride about 6 to 10 hours a day of cycling. Mix that in with breaks, food stops, and anything else, and each day turned into a long haul. There are small roadside villages, mostly catering to the truckers, scattered along the way. Conveniently for me, they provide a pit stop for food, water, and even a roof if needed. I had stocked up on food in New Delhi and was carrying over 7 liters of water. I had food and a tent, all my camera gear, and my heavy surly touring bike. I could spend the night in sub-zero temperatures in the Himalaya, but tried not to if I could help it. Finding cheap and affordable places to stay was not really an issue for me. There seemed to be a plethora of small houses, huts, and dabbas that you could rent out. So this is what a 200 rupee dabba looks like, just for the night. It's pretty dirty. You know, hasn't been cleaned in a while. I don't know what's in that roof. I'm not going to touch it. Got a post to hang things on. Got my jacket all hung up. But it does have electricity, so I'm charging stuff right now. Hopefully it keeps going in and out. So this is about $3. I'll probably just put out my sleeping bag and sleep there, but it's better than sleeping in the rain. And I can bring my bike inside. After trying to try out some clothing and gear and charging some equipment, I spent the rest of the evening exploring the countryside on my cheap dog. The cycling ritual was the same as always, but this time there was something a little more exposed feeling. Like between the convoy of vehicles there could be an hour or more that would pass with no one around. I was very tiny and exposed in a humongous landscape. This magnitude was staggering, and the task at hand, low gear mountain climbing, was physically daunting. The highway was completed in 1989 and has undergone continuous improvement, spanning from the humid and rainy state of Himachal Pradesh to the dry and mountainous Ladakh region, serving as a major trunk road and modern artery cutting through an otherwise desolate and massive region. As the roads became more extreme, so did the weather at these high elevations.
दो तीन घंटे से 10-11 बजे तक तो कुछ नहीं जाएगा उसके वजह से
हमें आवे थे हम जो ना आंतरिक
Even with the snow, the road was open and it was time to go. Early in the morning, they finally opened the roads after an entire night of snowfall. Although I was ready to go on my bicycle, I was unsure if I could actually complete the task at hand. Conditions had become dire. The snow was thick for my bike, and I was worried about being stranded overnight at almost 18,000 feet, so I opted to hitch a ride with these kind gentlemen to lower elevations. After the snow disappeared, I was finally in the rain shadow of the Himalaya and in a totally different region of India. The color and scale of landscape was beautiful. After many nights spent on the Manali to Leh highway, I was finally getting closer to my destination. Due to the rise of traffic, I found myself reaching the outskirts of the city of Leh. I was elated. This final segment of my cycle tour was something to remember, and traveling slowly through the stunning landscape was inspiring. I had reached my hotel and was prepared to stay for a few weeks and recover and explore the area.